we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a Bradford White 50-gallon propane water heater. And you can see right here the RG250 T6X. X is for propane. And of course, you'd never set a propane water heater on natural gas water heater on propane. And then you can see the thermostat's different too. The red is for propane. Anyway, so that's your model number, serial number. You can go to bradfordwhite.com, get it registered, and they'll get your warranty going on this tank as per contract. And then a little bit extra, actually. We gave you 2 new shutoff valves. And you can see up there the supply lines, or the stub outs for the waters, are backwards. Totally fine. They're labeled, so hot is on the right, and then cold is over on the left. So we had this one. This one was from Hajoka, and so we put this one in because there's an old gate valve on here. It's not required on the hot side, by the way. You don't need it, but we put them in anyway. So and then on the other side is a Watts. We get those supplyhouse.com. We like those. So both quarter turn on, quarter turn off, and then of course we got your wire, your round wire hooked back up. Solid brass constructions. You got copper coming out of the wall, brass valve, brass nipple down to Falcon stainless steel connectors. That guy, Falcon stainless steel, is about an 18-incher. Comes down to a brass extension right there. And then this, we didn't have a 24 on the truck, so we just used a couple of little 12s and a little brass nipple in between. Keeping in mind, copper, brass, stainless steel, they all flow great and do not corrode. Galvanized iron pipe does. So anyways, 2 new shutoff valves, supply lines are in. We give you new venting up to the ceiling bucket. You can see an adjustable 90 piece of pipe, another adjustable 90 down to the draft diverter. Relief valves right here. It's not ideal because the relief line is higher. You can see it's higher than the tank, so it should be down lower, but we weren't contracted to modify existing, so we just looped it around. So you can see right here, it just kind of loops around and back up. This does create a trap. Don't use this. If you do pop this off once a year for just to see if it functions correctly, you will have to break it loose right here, put a rag down on top of the water heater, break it loose right here, and drain the water out of there, because you just don't want water sitting in there. Shouldn't hurt anything. But it does create a trap. It'll just stay in that line. So anyway, so relief line's tied back in. We just took an adapter and soldered it on right there. And this is a Pro Flow connector. This is straight out of Ferguson, 24-incher, right over to the relief valve. And then of course here, upper third, you got the adjustable strap. Lower third, you have the adjustable strap. Your gas line was buried back there, coming around the corner behind the water heater. I can't really see back there, but what we did is we took a T and a plug back there, turned it, and we weren't anticipating repiping anything, but the gas line's just in a bad spot, and we wanted to get out of here where you could actually turn the gas off if you had to. So now you can. There's a brand new gas valve right there. We told you we give you a new connector. Of course, we don't have a 36-inch connector with us. We had a 24. This is a 36. This is as long as you can go on a water heater by code. So we just put it back in place. If you feel that we haven't fulfilled our obligation because we did say we would replace it, we can certainly give you a $15 discount, because that's how much that supply line costs over at Ferguson. Or if you'd like us to, call us, tell us. We'll go over to Ferguson, pick one up, come out and install it for you. But anyways, it's tied back in, burner's lit. Down here, this is important. I know everybody's grown up here, but if you have grandkids or anybody else's kids, toddler age, infants, anything, you got a soaking tub in the one bathroom, anything that has a full flow hot water, just be careful. Right now we have it set to hot. You can see that's all we can do. We have to videotape it too, because we're liable for that. So it's approximately 120, A130, B140, C150, and very hot 160 at B140. You got 30-degree burns, 30 seconds. Infants, 1 second. Their skin is so thin and not tough like old folks, or even senior citizens. You know, the skin just burns quicker, and you're going to the hospital. So leave it there. You shouldn't. 120 is great. If you feel like turning it up, go ahead. Totally up to you. But 120 is great for showering. You know, you can't stand in 120-degree water without getting really hot or getting burned. So just leave it there. And if you want to turn it up, you know, A130, B140, totally up to you. We have to leave it there. So anyways, everything's in. We've tested it. We sniffed the gas out to make sure there was no leaks. Everything looks good in the closet. Outside of that, this installation is done.